Coping with our 60-year-old bodies can be very challenging. In fact, some women in our 60andMe community might say that it isn't even possible. Our bodies tend to ambush us as we get older, and we have to experience and go through all kinds of changes. So I'd like to talk to you about how to cope with your aging body and to create an attitude that's more positive so that we can live, in this body and enjoy everything that we can at this incredible time in our lives. My name is Margaret Manning. I'm with 60andMe, and thank you for being here. I really appreciate your time and taking this opportunity to welcome you here. Our sponsor for today's show is Easy Spirit. Easy Spirit is a shoe company that has been making beautiful shoes for women for over 30 years. They've got beautiful styles and, mix that with comfort. You don't have to choose. You can have both. And they do believe that comfort should be uncomplicated and easy. Anything's possible if you're feeling comfortable. So check out their website, easyspirit.com. And also in the description below this video, there is a promotional code. So you can get a 20% discount off of your purchase of an Easy Spirit shoe. So thanks to Easy Spirit. Now, this issue about how we feel in our bodies as we get older. Well, Anne Richardson, one of our bloggers, wrote a really good article because she puts it all in perspective, starting really from being a child. Our bodies are constantly giving us opportunities to grow and to learn about ourselves. So, when you're a little child, you're always banging your knees and getting cuts and bruises and just pushing, the physical limitations. And that's part of growing up. Remember, you ran too fast, you took that extra push and ended up on the ground. And then as you get older, you get the diseases, the chicken pox and measles and all these things that, are part of growing up and building your immune system in your body. But it's like, it comes at you suddenly, like, why am I having to be sick here? I'm just, growing up and doing the best to stay healthy. But we live in a world where that's just how our bodies react to change and to stress and to our environment. So the bigger ambush, of course, comes for women when they're in their teens and they start their period. Now, this is a friend and/enemy who travels with us for many, many years. And of course, it gives you the amazing opportunity to have children if that's what you want. But at the same time, there's the physical reality that your body is changing. The hormones are shifting, and we just have to deal with that in the best way that we can. And I think the people that get through these stages of growth and development are the ones who can see it as a whole, as in the context of the whole process of aging and enjoying this amazing human body. We may be hard on ourselves because we can't go as fast or run as long, but it is all part of the gift of being in a human form. So the older bodies, yes, it gets even more complicated, and this is where we have to deal with our hormones shift. We don't have as much estrogen coming as a woman, so we get that little belly fat, or we get hormonal changes that lead to depression or loneliness. We're dealing with these changes that just are part of the aging process. One of my interviewees once, Lynn Slater, said, aging, Margaret, is profound. And when she said that, that stayed with me. I've mentioned it several times because it just stayed with me. Yeah, it's profound. It's not something you can explain. It comes at you, and like Anne says, it ambushes you. Suddenly, you can't, do the things that you wanted to do in your 50s and 60s, 70s. You have this mental attitude that everything is going to be the same as always, and you'll be able to cope. But we have managed through other challenges. Think about the things that were impacting us when we were younger. The HIV/AIDS epidemic that was a big part of our early adulthood. I lost friends, Anne did too. She actually wrote a book about HIV/AIDS. But it's not for sissies, for sure. There's so many things that as we get older, we have to deal with. So I think the big one for us maybe is this looming possibility of Alzheimer's. And again, it gets back to attitude that, we think of every example of memory loss where we forget the keys or we don't remember someone's name. That is somehow going to be an indication that we are going to be challenged with Alzheimer's. It's just, these challenges in our bodies have to be addressed by really just one thing, and that's this. It's our attitude. Do we quietly accept all of this? Do we just say, oh, well, Something's got to go wrong when I'm in my 70s. We don't live forever. Something's got, and accept our bodies not being able to do things we thought we could do as just part of aging. Well, I think in a way, I do agree that you've got to go to the doctor and have proactive engagement about your health. There's all kinds of people who are dealing with serious illness. It just is one of those things. This is what happens. It's not, predictable. One day that phrase, life turning on a dime is so true. But when you go to your doctor, just say, I went to the doctor recently and I just said, look, I'm 70 years old now. Like what tests, what sort of examinations would you have if you were in this age group to make sure that you stayed healthy through your 90s and even older? I want to live for a long time. I've got lots of things I want to do with this physical body. So that's one thing, is be proactive about your health. Go and have those checkups. I mean, some of them are not so much fun, but go and do them, because then you'll put your mind at rest. And the change that seemed like an ambush, you can push back on it. You can actually be able to fight back and do things to keep yourself, kind of free, or at least protected from those little ambushes that Anne describes. This really makes sense if you, like Anne, if you say to yourself, this is one approach, acceptance, sort of surrender, or no, I'm going to fight back. I think it was with Dylan Thomas read that famous poem about fighting back against death. You've got to say, no, I'm going to do the very best I can to deal with those little ambushes. I mean, things that, even you had as a child come back to haunt you as you get older. Incontinence and those little sneeze leaks that you get. These are all things that you can do things about. You can get, products and do things with your diet and your lifestyle, exercise that can help you deal with even those very annoying challenges as you get a bit older. But the most important thing, I think, is to, like Anne, fight back, push back by being proactive. Do things to, cope with your aging body by embracing it. Being realistic, but at the same time being a fighter. Be a warrior as well as a worrier. And make sure that you're doing things every day that are going to contribute to good health. So what are some of the things that you've done? What's the worst health problem that you've had to face? Tell us a little bit about that, and how did you deal with it? Maybe you're still dealing with it and we want to give you some support. This is what 60andMe is actually all about. We are a community of women who are over 60, aging beautifully, but dealing with the changing body that Anne describes. So do you accept that these challenges are just part of the human condition? Or are you going to push back and rail against them and fight back? I'd really love to get your conversation going on this. I know it's difficult to talk about sometimes the things that are on your mind or that you're worried about, but share with us if you've faced a health concern, how you dealt with it, and what advice you have got for others to deal with the changing body that we have been blessed with. So again, thank you so much for being here, for your time, for listening, and please subscribe to our channel and ring that or press that little bell that's somewhere that will tell you when new videos have been released. We've got lots of videos, by the way, that are probably going to come up as you finish this one about health, well-being, nutrition, the aging body, as well as other fun things. But this one's pretty important. How to cope with your aging body is possible. So take good care, everybody. Have a fabulous day, and we'll talk again very, very soon. Bye-bye for now.